About 3,000 delegates from across China have assembled in Beijing for the National People's Congress to discuss ways to move the country forward. President Xi Jinping will be working to consolidate his control. But in his third year in office, he faces major challenges, beginning with the country's slowing economy. Xi calls this the new normal and says China must focus less on speedy growth and more on improving the quality of life. We'll be bringing you extensive coverage this week in our series, China, Xi's New Normal. Chinese leaders have set a target for economic growth at around 7% for 2015, down half a percentage point from last year. The annual Congress began at 9 a.m. on Thursday. About 3,000 delegates around the country are attending. Premier Li Keqiang started things off by laying out the government's plans for the year.
Our economic development has entered a new normal. Our country is in a crucial period. Challenges need to be overcome and problems solved. Without deepening reform and making structural adjustments, we will have a hard time sustaining steady development.
On the country's anti-corruption campaign, Li said the government will maintain its zero-tolerance policy. He said the government will thoroughly investigate and punish anyone found guilty. Government leaders are still stressing the importance of the military. Defense expenditures in 2015 will come to 886 billion yuan, or around $140 billion, up by 10.1% from last year. Military spending has posted double-digit increases every year since 1989, with the exception of 2010. Li said building a solid national defense and strong armed forces is fundamental to safeguarding China's sovereignty, security, and developmental interests.
We need to push forward to become a strong power at sea, protecting our maritime interests, dealing with seaborne conflicts, and proactively enhancing bilateral or multilateral cooperation.
After the session, some attendees spoke to us about this year's government work report.
7% is already a very good growth rate, and then it would provide the foundation for the sustainable growth in China for many years to come.
Historically, China has not given priority to maritime strategy. As Premier Li's report stated, we have to become a strong power at sea.
NHK World's Naoki Makita is in Beijing with the highlights of the government work report.
The main highlight was the lowering of the economic growth target to around 7%. Last year, China's GDP grew by 7.4%. The government stressed that it has achieved its target, but it was the lowest level of growth in 24 years, and it is clear that the economy is slowing. Behind this are slumps in real estate investment and exports, which have been driving the economy. In addition, regional authorities invested excessively in property development and attracting factories in order to achieve high growth. As a result, the housing market is saturated and heavy industry has too much capacity. The administration of Xi Jinping has been using the new normal as a catchphrase. Its stance is that it is aiming for sustainable development rather than rapid growth, with an emphasis on quality and efficiency. Premier Li Keqiang said in the report that the leaders arrived at this year's growth target by looking at what is needed and what is possible. He stressed that the country can maintain a sufficient number of jobs at this pace of growth. An economist says that Chinese government hopes to counter the possible negative impression that the world's second-largest economy is losing steam.
If they tell the people Chinese economy is going to slow down, it seems that they must take a responsibility. So they just make a new word as a new normal. The problem is not 7% or 8%. The problem is how can China and the Chinese government change the economic structure?
The government wants to nurture the service sector and startup companies. It also wants to provide goods and services that can meet a wide array of needs as a way to revitalize personal consumption. The fast-growing internet industry is one promising field that is attracting attention. The report says the government will encourage e-commerce and parcel delivery services along with improved health care. According to a Chinese think tank, China's online shopping market surpassed that of the US the year before last to become the world's largest. Last year, it grew to roughly $460 billion. Buying things online from sites such as Taobao, which enjoys an overwhelming market share, has become a part of daily life for the Chinese people. Online payment systems are also now widely used to the point where people use their smartphones for taxis and in vending machines.
Naoki Makita has another story today. A boom in IT technology has completely changed the lives of people across China. Many people are becoming more prosperous with each click of the mouse. He went to both urban and rural areas to witness the changes. This is what I learned.
Many young people are flocking to classrooms in Beijing to learn IT skills. Many of them are learning how to sell goods on Taobao, China's largest online shopping site. At this school, teachers give detailed instructions on how to advertise goods and devise sales strategies.
I want to launch an online shop that sells specialty goods from my local area.
I make 80% of my purchases online. I think this field will expand a lot.
The school puts videos of the classes online so students in affiliate schools around the country can participate in real time. With this approach, the school has about 1,000 students taking the course together. At $1,100 for 12 days, it isn't cheap, but the number of participants has shot up.
Anyone who has a computer can be an entrepreneur. With the boom in internet shopping, there's a big demand for schools teaching IT skills.
But actually, it's China's rural areas that are enjoying the benefits of the IT economy the most. Beijia village is no exception. It has a population of 7,000. This village looks like any Chinese farming community, but more and more of the residents here are becoming online entrepreneurs, selling their products through the internet. 20-year-old Liu Xuehu worked part-time as a carpenter after graduating from junior high school. Later, he taught himself computer skills and opened an online shop on Taobao 3 years ago. Liu focused on the furniture made in his community. He started selling shoe cabinets that are easy to assemble and convenient to ship. They gained a reputation as low-cost, high-quality products, and Liu started getting 2,000 orders a month from all around the country. He now employs 10 people to process the orders.
Without the internet, I'd probably still be working part-time. There's definitely no way my business would have grown so fast.
Liu says he makes about $3,000 a month through his online shop. That's 5 times more than he'd get working as a carpenter. He now designs furniture himself and manufactures it in his own factory.
My goal is to create my own brand of furniture under which I can sell my designs. I want to expand my business online so people anywhere in the country can buy my furniture.
Liu's success inspired the villagers. They now operate around 100 online shops. This type of village is called a Taobao village, and they are popping up all over China. The popularity of online sales has also created business opportunities for courier and delivery companies. This major courier company set up a distribution hub near this village last June. It used to operate mainly in cities, but it sees a business opportunity in widening its services into rural areas. Efficient delivery networks provide low-cost and speedy transportation and have contributed to a further increase in online sales.
Because we're handling more goods sold online, as a courier company, we can serve those villages and reduce costs at the same time. It's a true win-win situation.
China's rural areas had been left behind when the country's economy rapidly grew. But now, the burgeoning online sales industry is giving them a chance to catch up.
We also asked Naoki if China's online sector will continue to grow at this explosive pace.
We can expect rapid expansion of the online industry in China. E-commerce companies are especially targeting rural regions where about 600 million people live. The Alibaba Group, which operates Taobao, says it will invest about $1.6 billion over the next 3 to 5 years in capturing the rural market. The company wants to establish 1,000 e-commerce support centers outside major cities. This kind of investment is very significant. An expert points out that in addition to encouraging consumption, it will lift employment in related sectors.
The online industry is taking over traditional ways of business. This means more opportunities for employment, such as delivery services and call center staff. This is what China calls the new normal, the structural economic changes that the government seeks.
Aside from the growth of the online industry, the Chinese economy faces challenges. The consumer price index, which reflects domestic demand, is growing at a rate of less than 1%, and this is raising concern about deflation. People are closely watching the government. Last year, the Xi administration had some success in rooting out corruption. This year, people want to see whether it can guide the economy from the rapid expansion we've seen previously to a stable path of what it calls medium-high-level growth.
And that was NHK World's Naoki Makita in Beijing. The Congress will continue until March 15th. We will keep you up to date on this major Chinese political event.